Shalawam Israel, Shalawam, 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 Yasha Allah. Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel. Alright, Shalom to the hopeful elect, push his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom to all the Akim or Akwath Yum, right? In this truth, alright, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. And if some of y'all are keeping the feast of unleavened bread right now, happy feast of unleavened bread, right? I am one of them, right? Just at the Passover, right? On a Monday night, right? So shalom, shalom, right? And first and foremost, let me give Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. Right? That's all praises, honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahushua, what the world calls Christ or Jesus, right? So in this video, right, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm just going to go through some precepts, right, showing you in the scriptures that we gotta trust in the Lord in these last days, right? So I'm gonna start with the book of Proverbs. First, let me go to First, let me start with Isaiah 28:10, right? Isaiah 28:10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. So we gotta link these precepts up, and that's how we get our doctrine. That's how we get the understanding, right? So we're gonna go through the precepts. We're gonna prove various things. We're gonna prove that we need what it is to trust in the Lord and how to trust in the Lord, right? And that we have to trust in the Lord in the last days, right? So let's go through it, right? This is the classic. Let's go to Proverbs 3:5, right? Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. So we got to trust in the Lord Yahweh with all our heart, right? We can't doubt. There's no room for doubt, right? There's no room for that lack of faith. We got to trust in Him, right? A lot of people, they trust in materialistic things, right? They trust in materialistic things. Salachya. They trust in materialistic things, right? Things of this world. They trust in themselves. They trust in, their family members, right? But the Lord is saying you got to trust in the Lord with all your heart, right? And lean not onto thine own understanding, right? So meaning what? Don't trust yourself. Don't lean onto your own understanding and then go waver to and fro with everyone in doctrine, right? You start falling out the truth because you're leaning onto your own understanding, right? Hold fast to that doctrine. Right? You got to go through the precepts and prove it, The point I want to touch on is that you got to trust in the Lord with all your heart, right? Let's go to Psalms 9 and 10, right? Psalms 9 and 10. Psalms 9 and 10, and they that know thy name will put their trust in thee, for thou, Yahweh, hast not forsaken them that seek thee, right? So they that know thy name, right, which is Yahweh, the name of the Father, and Yahushua being the name of his only begotten Son, Yahushua, like I said, his only begotten Son, so-called Jesus, right? Like I said before, right? So they that know thy name would put their trust in thee. So we know the Lord's name, Yahweh. So if we know the Lord's name, we got to put our trust in Him, right? Not in our money, not in ourselves, not in our our family members, not in our job or our guns, whatever, right? For thou, right? Slop. Okay. Yeah. See. So, right? So it says, thou, Lord, has not forsaken them that seek thee. So if you're going to seek him, right? If you're going to seek him, he's not going to forsake you, right? So let's go to, let me see, Psalms 18, I think you started at 1, right? To the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of the Lord, who spake unto the Lord the words of the song in the day that the Lord delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Saul. And he said, I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. Verse 2, here's the point. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust. So the Lord, he's our rock, he's our fortress, he's our deliverer, our God, of course, our strength. What does it mean that he's your strength? Meaning that your strength, he's our strength. He's the one that we gotta rely on, right? Because in the day of trouble, you gotta rely on your strength, right? So we rely on him because he's our God, he's our strength, he's our fortress, right? Our refuge, right? What does a fortress mean, right? Let's look at fortress. Fortress. So it says a military stronghold, especially a strongly fortified town fit for a large garrison. All right. So what is that? It's like let's look at some synonyms, right? A fort, castle, citadel, right? A burg, a keep, a tower, right? Fortification. So a fortress is made to protect you, right? A stronghold is a stronghold, right? So the Lord, he's made to protect us. So of course, in the day of trouble, he's going to deliver us and protect us, right? I was just reading that, right? Let's go to Isaiah real quick, right? Let's just prove that real quick. Isaiah 26. Isaiah 26 and 20, right? Isaiah 26 and 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors behind thee, about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. So during the time of the day of the Lord, during the time of Jacob's trouble, the Lord, he's going to actually save some Israelites, his elect. He's going to preserve them, right? And say, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers. Meaning he's going to protect them, make sure they're, protected from all the evil, right? Until all the indignation be overpassed, right? But all the other people, right, which are not chosen to get that salvation, which are not chosen to be protected by the Lord, which were not calling upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, they're going to be what? They're going to be killed, burnt with fire, right? If they're heathen, they're going to be put in captivity, right? If it's 2/3, they're going to be burnt with fire, killed with the sword, right? So let's go to right, Proverbs. Before we go to Proverbs, let's go to Psalms 118 and verse. Well, we can start at 5, right? Right. Psalms 118 and 5, right? I called upon the Lord in distress. The Lord answered me and set me in a large place, right? So David, this is David, right? I believe this is David, right? So David is saying that he called upon the Lord in distress. What do you think we should do, right? We got to follow in the steps of our righteous forefathers, because he called upon the Lord in distress. We should call upon the Lord in distress, right? The Lord answered me and set me in a large place. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me? That's how you trust in the Lord, right? You go about, if you're doing his will, of course, right? You can't just go about saying the Lord is on my side when you're sinning, right? And when you're deep into the world, right? When you're like the pastors say, these wicked pastors, they say that the Lord is on their side, right? The God is in their church, right? But they're really just lying, right? They're lying in the church and they're trying to get money, right? So let's go to and then let's keep reading, right? Verse 7, the Lord taketh my part with them that help me. Therefore shall I see my desire upon them that hate me, right? It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. So it's better to trust, right? It's better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man, right? So we got to put our trust in the Lord and not put confidence in man, right? Because a lot of people, they put confidence in man. They trust in man, right? These Edomites, they trust in Donald Trump, that he'll be their help or something, Jake before they trusted in Obama, that he's the new savior, The Lord, look, David said, look, it's better to trust in Yahweh, right, than to put confidence in man. Verse 9, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes, right? All nations can pass me about, but in the name of the Lord will I destroy them, right? So you'll be able to destroy these nations, right? By trusting in the Lord, calling upon his name, right? So without that lack of faith, you will be able to trust in the Lord, right? It all goes down to faith. I just did that video on how Israel needs faith, especially in these last days, right? Let's go to Proverbs again. Let's go to 28, 25. Proverbs 28, 25, right? He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. So he that has a proud heart stirreth up strife, right? So don't be proud, right? But he that putteth his trust in the Lord shall be made fat. So if you put your trust in the Lord, you're going to be made fat. Fat meaning you're going to have abundance. You're going to have that increase, right? You're going to have it. You're going to have the kingdom, essentially, right? You're going to get the desires of your heart, like it says, right? In Deuteronomy, I believe, right? All things shall go well with thee, right? Because let's go to Joshua 1 and 8. Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein in day and night, that thou mayest observe to do all according to that is written therein. So you're keeping the law, you're trusting in the Lord, right? For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So you're going to have, your way is going to be prosperous, you're going to have good success, right? That's what it says, right? So let's go to, let's see, Proverbs 30 and 5, right? Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him, right? So the Lord, he's a shield. A shield is made to protect, like I said before, he's our fortress, right? Or like as David said before, right? Unto them that put their trust in him, right? That's the only way the Lord's going to be your shield. You got to put your trust in it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because look, what did the Lord say about not trusting in him? What did the Lord say about man not trusting in him? 5, right? Jeremiah 17 and 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man. It says cursed, right? Israel, we're cursed nation. Esau, he's another cursed nation, right? He's the top cursed nation, but we got cursed. We're supposed to be blessed, right? Essentially, right? The Most High, he has his plan, he has his destiny, he has his fate, but essentially, we're supposed to be that blessed nation on the earth. We're supposed to be ruling the earth, right? Because if you look in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, it will show you a list of curses and blessings, right? That Israel will get if we obey the commandments. We'll get the blessings. If we disobey the commandments, we will get the curses, right? So it says, cursed be the man. It says cursed, right? Be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord, right? So it says, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, maketh flesh his arm. So what does that mean, make it flesh his arm? Meaning he's trusting in man. That man that is cursed, he's trusting in man, right? Because your arm is your strength, right? Instead of making the Lord, who is our true strength, instead of making him your strength, he's making man his strength, right? His go-to, right? His right arm man, or whatever, right? That's his strength. That's his hope, right? It says, "In whose heart departed from the Lord," because really, when you don't trust in the Lord, your heart is going away from him, right? It's departed from him because you're losing faith in him. You're losing hope, right? Let's go to verse 7. Let's go to the contrary. Blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord and whose hope the Lord is. So if you're trusting in the Lord, and if you're um hoping in the Lord and not in man and not in carnal things, right? Then you're going to be blessed, right? Along with other things, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, keeping the faith, right? But that it goes hand in hand, right? Let's go to and then it's verse 8. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters. What is the waters? The waters is the wisdom, right? I might have to do another video on that, but the waters are the wisdom, right? The living waters, like it says in John chapter 4, right? And that spreadeth out her roots by the river. The roots in the tree, go into the soil, and they gather up the water and the nutrients from the soil, right? From underground. So men are referred to as trees in the Bible, right? I have to do another video on that too. But men are referred to as trees. In Ezekiel chapter 31, I think it was basically, I think it was either Pharaoh or the king of Assyria, but he was likened onto a tree in Lebanon, right? But anyways, it says, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, meaning that man or that woman is going to get that wisdom, that knowledge, wisdom, understanding, that living water, right? And shall not see when he cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit, right? So that's going to be a beautiful tree, yielding fruit, meaning what? Giving out good works, right? So let's go to let's see, Proverbs, right? Salachya. Oh yeah, all right. Let's go to Proverbs 11:28. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall. So if you trust in your riches, let's say you got money, right? Let's say you have a lot of money. If you trust in your riches, you're gonna fall, right? It's a lot. It says, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. So if you're righteous and you're trusting in the Lord, right, you're gonna flourish as a branch, right? So make sure you gotta trust in the Lord, right? Man, nowadays they trust in carnal things like money. Let's go to Isaiah 31:1, right? Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. So a lot of wicked Israel, they trust in Egypt, and Egypt is Babylon the Great, right? Egypt is Babylon the Great, America. So a lot of wicked Israelites, they trust in America, they trust in the power of America, right? The chariots and the horses are the helicopters, the jets, the fire planes, right? The tanks, right? The jeeps, the infantry, right? The men, the soldiers, they trust in the soldiers and stuff, right? They trust in Esau's economy, in his way of life, and his philosophy, right? In horsemen, because they are very strong. Horsemen, could be talking about the tanks and stuff, right? You got a powerful army. But what? But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. They don't look to the Holy One of Israel. They don't trust in him, right? They don't seek the Lord, right? But instead they trust in Egypt, right? America, right? So, Jake, you gotta stop, right? You gotta trust in the Lord. Let's go to King James Bible. Let's go to King James Bible. Right? We're gonna go to Sirach chapter 2, right? Verse 10. Sirach chapter 2, verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? This is a rhetorical question. This question is not meant to be answered because the answer is obvious. It's no, right? No one trusted in the Lord and was confounded, right? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So if you're calling upon the name of the Lord, right? If you're trusting in the Lord, right? Look, the Lord, he's going to deliver you, right? From the time of trouble, right? And that's a guarantee if you believe the word, right? All right. But I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this. Lord willing, maybe through the Spirit, got to cut it short. But, hopefully this was edifying through the Spirit power of Mahashiach Yahushua, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. So with that, Israel, I like to say, call Allah Yahweh Bahashim Mahashiach Yahushua. All right, Barakatham, Wat the water. All right. Shalawam, Yasha Allah.